Hi, this is a short introduction into using assignments. We're going to log into the system, and today we're going to be using schedule assignments. So I'm going to go to settings menu. I'm going to choose schedule assignment types, and the schedule assignment types are all in groups, so it just makes it easier to pull these things together. We're going to look at three different types of schedules and the assignments that then make up those schedules. The first one we're going to look at is doors. Now, doors is going to have a subschedule of door sets. So let's just have a look at the door sets and how that's configured. Door sets is configured with an acoustics attribute, and here we've put some notes in to say what that is. It's going to be a single value, and it's going to be of a unit type. That means it's going to be a number. We've also got in an attribute called areas, and this is going to be about the types of areas that you're going to be allowed to use that particular door set in. And we can now describe that by putting things into our notes, and so we've said that the data type for that is string. And because everybody puts in different values and notations for the fire and smoke, we're going to leave that as a string type. But with the actual door configuration in the schedule, we could then have a numeric value for the fire rating. So let's have a look and just build that subschedule. The subschedule is actually already being built, but here's how we do it. So we've created our subschedule, and here we've actually said that the instance type is going to be none, because we want this to be a reference within a schedule. And we've given it a description to say it's a subschedule of doors. So we'll go to our form configurator. And in our form configurator, we've already added the values in. But this is how we add the values. We would look for our grouping, and there are two values that we haven't added in. So let's just add in fire and smoke and areas. Now you'll notice here that this is showing us what the form is going to look like, except for the checkboxes. The checkboxes are simply there to say those are the fields that I would like to be displayed when I look at it in a grid fashion. So I'm looking at a whole set of records. And what I can do with these is move them up and down in the form, and that's the order in which they will then appear. So I just move those down there and then update it. So let's now go and have a look at the door schedule. So we'll look at first of all the door assignments very quickly. And you can see we've got a lot of them. And also what we've got is an assignment that actually references that schedule. So we've said that it is in fact a data type subschedule, and then we've used the description, and that must match the name of the schedule, so it can bring in this subschedule underneath it. And you can see here we've also got some things that are true, false. We've got some things that are going to appear as a list. So let's just see how that's then going to appear when we actually look at the schedule. So we'll go to the schedule configurator, and here we're saying that the doors, for each record in the door schedule, there's going to be one location. And here we've already built the form, and you can see how that's looking, and you can see how when I add the attribute called door sets, it knows it's a subschedule, and it says it's going to appear as a list box, which will then allow me to select the appropriate record out of that subschedule. And you can see how the others, vision panel, yes or no, etc. We've also added some IFC information in as well for the bounding box dimensions, and we'll see how that works in a minute. So let's go and see how that schedule is implemented within a project. So we go to one of our buildings, select schedules, and we'll go to the door schedules, and you can see here it always said there's 100 records in there, and there's my 100 records. Now I have two ways of viewing this. I can view it as a grid of data, or I can actually say and I've got a column that actually tells me whether any of those records have actually been located on the plan. If I say I'd like to see a plan view, then up pops the plan, and here are all the items and where they are. Now, when I received this door schedule, I didn't have any accurate information as to whereabouts that door was, other than the fact that it was in a specific room. And what the system's done is, or it allows me to actually say in the schedule, set the locations according to an area code, and it'll look through the database and then say, okay, found that, and I'll put it in the middle of the room for you. And with each of these records, I can actually interrogate them from here. I can see their values, and I can also then go and just click to go and edit them in the form. And there's the form coming up. And here is the subschedule. And if I want to see what data that has got in the subschedule, I just click that, and there, like a subgrid I can come up with. And we have looked at making this an indefinite tree of data that you can actually build together. I can also set the location for that object. So I go to location, I can go to different floors, and I can say, right, okay, it's on the ground floor, so I can position it. I've already positioned it, but more importantly, I can actually move it and update the location. I'll just put it back. So let's go and have a look now at the furniture schedule. Back to settings, back to schedule assignment types, and we'll have a look at some furniture. So here I've already got some attributes that I've added, and you can see I've added some IFC references as well. Let's have a look and see how that then looks in a schedule. So let's see, we've created a furniture schedule here, and the schedule this time we've got multiple locations. That means for each item in the schedule it could be positioned multiple times. It may be that we actually want another schedule of actually all the locations. Let's have a look at how we've configured that. So we've added in the attributes from the furniture schedule, and in the middle we've actually added in some bounding box dimensions as well. And let's go and just see how that then looks in a project. So here we go to schedules, we'll choose our furniture, and we've added in 106 records. We haven't got any locations of this furniture, but we can actually go and have a look at what those attributes are. And here you see we've got a field of how the data came to us in terms of a series of numbers about the depth. So we've put that in the wrong field, so let's just move that, put that there, and update. We've got another one there, that's saying depth as well. We'll do that one. What have we got here? Let's look at that bench there. That's saying the width, and then it's saying the depth is 750. That's all we need to do. And it's a matter of how this information comes to us. We can, from a schedule, we can create a template for importing the data just by clicking on that. And there we have a blank template with all the correct field headings. We can also export everything as a spreadsheet, so it can be used in another system, or it can be manually edited in the spreadsheet and then used to import and update the existing records. And that concludes the presentation of assignments.